Although the roots go back as far as World War II and the Seattle Auxiliary Fire Department, the Last Resort Fire Department officially began in 1969 when a handful of dedicated individuals banded together to form what is now the largest collection of antique motorized fire apparatus in the Pacific Northwest, quite possibly in the country. The Last Resort Fire Department is a nonprofit charitable corporation dedicated to the acquisition and restoration, preservation, and display of classic antique motorized fire apparatus, many of which are simply retired fire trucks from the city of Seattle, fire prevention exhibits, and the annual Fire Festival, which happens every summer in Seattle in Pioneer Square. Their maintenance facility was built in 1973 in Ballard and currently houses 12 of their rigs, including pumpers, city service ladder trucks, and tillered aerials. Because they've outgrown the facility, there are several rigs now in the collection that are stored in various locations throughout the Seattle area. The collection consists primarily of retired Seattle Fire Department apparatus and equipment. Along with all these trucks come hundreds and thousands of historic photographs, alarm equipment, station furnishings, nozzles, extinguishers, helmets, and several items unique to the Seattle Fire Department, many of which are donated by fire department personnel through the years. Now let's meet Galen Tomer, who, along with his dad, Boyd Tomer, had an idea many years ago that maybe purchasing a fire truck would be a cool thing. And then came an idea and a dream.
We are a nonprofit, and we survive solely on donations from the public. And we've been having to scrimp and scrape the last few years to make ends meet, like a lot of other museums and nonprofits, because money's tight right now. We came very close to closing our doors this year, just because when you look at the numbers of the bills that have to be paid versus what you're bringing in donations, it needs to at least offset. And right now that's not happening. So we have a real major fear of having to close the doors. The collection's not going to go anywhere. It's just that they'd be in this building and literally not go anywhere. They'd be sitting here. I know that some museums and nonprofits have had to close and have had to sell off everything that they have. And that's really tragic because in a couple of cases, it's been local history that's gone by the wayside. So in order for us to survive, we need donations coming in. Well, some collections in museums are static. That is, they sit in the museum behind ropes. People come in and look at them, and that's very, very cool. The unusual thing about this collection is they're on the road. We take them to events. We do parades, car shows, birthdays, weddings, fire station dedications, open houses, retirement parties, funerals. And so the rigs are on the road for people to see, people to hear, and that's the thrill we get out of it, is taking them on the road for people to see. Our problem is that, of course, we have to maintain them, make repairs, keep them insured, all of that stuff that goes along with putting vehicles on the road. Parts are hard to come by. A lot of times parts have to be made. What I wish is that after all these years, we could have a museum facility that was large enough to put them all on display. Because 98% of the time, they sit in this building locked up and nobody sees them. And there's a tremendous amount of Seattle Fire Department history here, local history, that people don't get to see unless we take them out on the road.
They are not financed. They are not on the payroll of the Seattle Fire Department. Last Resort Fire Department is strictly donations from the public and for anybody who has a love for the Seattle Fire Department and these fire trucks and apparatus. If you would like to support the efforts or look into membership of the Last Resort Fire Department, their website is lastresortfd.org.